Well, we haven't made a travel video in quite a while, and the reason being is that we traveled up to the New England states, and we found that they were very different from the rest of the states that we have traveled. We were not comfortable. We didn't feel safe. The prices were just off the charts, 4 times as much as any other state we've traveled. And the campground situation, they weren't campgrounds, they were parking lots, and they were extremely expensive. Some of them were, well, normally we pay between 12, 24, sometimes 40, 50, 60 max. These started off at 60 and they were 200, some of them $200 a night, and they were terrible, just terrible. I would never encourage anybody to camp in the New England states. We were in Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Maine, and it was not pleasant. We did not have a good time. I would never encourage anyone to visit those areas. It was dirty, a lot of drug addicts, and now a lot of illegal aliens in different parts of the states. It just was very dangerous, and the first time that I ever felt afraid. And anyone who knows me, that is just, I travel all the time, and people are terrified for me. And they wish I were a little bit afraid because they feel like I'm not being careful. But I just have never feared traveling. I've always enjoyed it. I travel abroad, travel all over the United States, and it's never been, fear has not been a situation for me. And my husband, he would love that I had a little bit of fear. But I was fearful the entire time. It was 2 months of fear and dread. And so that's why I haven't uploaded any more travel videos. The areas that I've videotaped were up there, and it wasn't a pleasant trip for us. I'm sure other people have gone and had a wonderful time, and that's great. I just did not feel that at all. So I haven't really had anything to upload except, you know, once I left there, and we've been traveling. Once we got to New York, I love camping in New York, and you would think that would be fearful, and we even camped near the Hudson, close to Manhattan and the Bronx and Queens, and I love it. It's absolutely gorgeous. Most people would be terrified to go that close to the city. We have no problem with it, but beyond that, no, I won't be doing that again. We were supposed to go to Vermont, but I was just ready to go. My husband, he said he'd been to Vermont, wasn't a good experience for him, so why add to the misery? Everybody tells me, oh, those places are so beautiful. Yes, I did not experience that. Yeah, there were places that were beautiful, but the culture and the upkeep of the areas were not anything that I would ever want anyone to experience. It was just surprising to me just how poorly those states were taken care of. The United States is gorgeous, and to drive through different places, we just ooh and ah about so many different things. The farmlands, the small towns, even sometimes the large cities. I was just in Brooklyn with my granddaughters and my daughter, and we had a blast. And it was, you know, it's not pristine and beautiful like the rural communities that we love, but it was still fun. And we got on the ferry with the skyline behind us, seeing the Statue of Liberty. I mean, it was just gorgeous. But we didn't experience any of that in the New England states, and we even went to a large city, Boston. Brought my granddaughter, who's traveled around with us in different states, who's always loved it, and she was like, I love being with you and Papa, but this place is ugly. And we took her to Rhode Island and different places in Massachusetts, and we had to agree it was all ugly. The people were not particularly friendly. I don't think anybody even said hello to us, much less do eye contact. So when I came back to the southern states and I got my first, how are you? I almost cried. I said, these are my people. Just a little bit of courtesy, you know, we're just what I'm used to. And, but it was what it was. I'm glad that I went only because I got to see the different places where history took place. So I'm grateful for that. And I would encourage somebody to go and, you know, spend a weekend or a week if you're interested in that sort of thing. If you're not, I don't see any other reason to go. But I mean, we love history. This is probably one of the first times that I would not encourage people to travel. I don't know if it's because the landscape of our country has changed with all the illegal immigrants that have come in, you know, and are in the different states. That's a little nerve-wracking. I probably would only travel in states that do abide by law and order, not the ones that don't. You know, there are states that don't mind if, you know, if people come in and steal. I wouldn't go to any of those places. You can get robbed anywhere. I don't care where you are. The only time I've ever been robbed, I was in a little tiny suburb of Tennessee. But, you know, so it can happen anywhere. I do know that. But you want to go somewhere that you know that the police are going to do something about it, or that you have some type of protection. And right now, I don't know that I would really encourage anybody to travel. Our country's in such a strange state at the moment, and it really just depends on what happens in the next few months and next few years, and if we can, you know, make our borders safer and our states safer. So for now, we're just going to travel states that we know that we have rights as citizens of the United States. We don't have them in every state, and so we're not gonna go to those states. But anyway, I just wanted to explain why we have not uploaded any more videos, and we hope to in the future. But for now, I think we would feel terrible encouraging people to do something that right now we just don't feel is safe to do. So that's where we are. I hope you get something out of this video. If nothing else, just making better decisions.